Welcome back to the Business Warroom Podcast. I'm your host, Vinny G. On today's episode, I want to break down my latest business consulting project and how I helped transform the struggling business into a $5 million success in just 4 months. So here's how I addressed it. By looking into their business operations, finances, etc., I quickly identified there were 5 major revenue drains. But before we get into that, let me start by saying most entrepreneurs don't fail because of bad ideas. They fail because they're bleeding money in ways they don't even realize, which, as I stated earlier, I quickly identified once I was called into the specific company to consult with them early on, and to my pleasure be named the current board member. Their business was breaking even, but no matter how much effort they put in, they couldn't grow past their beginning ceiling. Sales were coming in, but profits weren't. It took me 4 months of focused execution to turn things around. And when I did, we hit the first $5 million in revenue, not by working harder, but by fixing 5 profit wastes that I identified and had been draining their business all along. So this is the exact playbook I used. It's practical, numbers driven, and designed to plug revenue holes immediately. So the first profit waste I identified was that customers were coming, but they weren't staying. Now, most businesses focus on getting new customers instead of keeping the ones they already have. That's a massive mistake because it costs 5 or even 6 times more to acquire a new customer than to keep an existing one. So here's what I changed to ensure the retention of their current customers. We introduced a loyalty offer. I had them email all past customers with a VIP exclusive offer that gave them early access to new services. 30% of them returned to buy. From there, we built an automated follow-up system. I set up post-purchase emails with 0 extra effort to re-engage customers, suggest related services, and offer discount codes. And finally, we made refunds easy. They used to think that making refunds difficult would save them money. Wrong. When I made the process smooth, trust skyrocketed and repeat purchases increased by 21%. This one change increased their customer retention by 35% and added $320,000 in annual revenue without spending a dime on ads. The second profit waste, they were running ads without a conversion-optimized website. They were spending thousands on ads, driving traffic to their site, but people were leaving without buying. Their ad spend was high, but their return was abysmal. So here's what I fixed. We quickly redesigned the checkout page. I removed unnecessary steps, simplified the payment process, and added a buy now button above the fold. Visitors who had questions converted 40% more often after chatting with a rep. And we speeded up their website. A 1-second delay in load time can cost you a 7% drop in conversions. So we optimized their site, and their conversion rate jumped from 2.3% to 4.8% overnight. So for every $1,000 they had spent on ads before, they had made $1,500 back. After these changes, that same ad spend was bringing in $4,800. Let's move on to profit waste number 3. They had too many services, but no bestsellers. More choices equals more sales, right? Wrong. In my experience, too many options paralyze customers instead of helping them buy. So here's what I did instead. I identified the top selling services. I analyzed sales data and found that 80% of their revenue came from just 20% of their services. So we killed the underperformers. Instead of stocking 20 services, I focused on 4 best-selling services that customers actually wanted. We built accuracy and urgency. I limited services and created a limited time notification, which boosted demand. By cutting 30% of their services, I reduced material costs, increased profit margins by 22%, and streamlined their marketing focus. On to profit waste number 4. They were not charging what they are worth. For years, they were terrified of raising their prices. They thought if they charged more, people would leave. But what I taught them is this: people don't buy based on price. They buy based on perceived value. So here's what I did. We immediately increased prices by 20%, but added perceived value. I didn't just raise the price. I improved their positioning, added bonuses, and created premium versions of their best-selling services. We tested pricing psychology. Instead of $150, I priced it at $149. That's known as charm pricing, and introduced bundle deals that made higher-priced options look like a steal. We used competitive benchmarking, so now they weren't the cheapest anymore, but they are now positioned as the best value. Sales volume didn't drop, but their profit per service jumped 27%, adding an extra $310,000 in profit in 2 months. On to our final profit waste, which they were relying on one revenue stream. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make, relying on a single source of revenue. If that stream dries up, so does your business. So here's what I changed in the company. First, we added a subscription model. Instead of selling one-time services, I introduced a monthly subscription box for their best customers. Within 3 months, I had 1,700 plus subscribers paying $229 a month, creating a predictable revenue stream. From there, we created an info service. We turned their business knowledge into an online course and sold it to their email list. Within 30 days, they made $185,000 from a digital product with zero inventory. We started partnerships. We partnered with a complimentary brand to cross-promote their services, bringing in 17,000 new customers in just one campaign. This diversification strategy added an extra $650,000 in revenue in just 4 months. So what should you take away from this episode? Small fixes bring big profits. The biggest myth in business is that you need to work harder to make more money. In reality, you just need to work smarter. By fixing these 5 profit wastes, their business went from barely breaking even to making over $5 million in 4 months. So here's your $1 million action plan. 1, audit your business for these common profit wastes. 2, make small, high-impact changes. Don't overhaul everything. Fix one waste at a time. And finally, test and optimize. Track what works. Cut what doesn't. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here. You just need to stop the revenue bleeding and scale the things that work. Now, if you need help turning things around in 4 to 8 months, get in touch. The link's in the descriptions. I want to thank you for tuning in to another great episode of the Business Warroom Podcast. Don't forget to like us on social media, subscribe to us, share our podcast, leave us a 5-star review on wherever you listen to the podcast, and we will see you all on the next episode. Peace.